What's going on, fellas? This is the first week of my hypertrophy block. After maxing out squat and bench, I ran a transition week, just really low volume on the barbell stuff, and this is me kind of getting back into it. So, my weekly structure looks like a bench day on my first training day, then a squat day, uh, Larson press day, a deadlift day, another bench day, and then finally another squat day. And I'm taking the seventh day as rest. This first week, I was trying to do low bar and high bar on both days. I was doing 2 sets of 8 low bar and 2 sets of 8 high bar. And I realized that the elbow pain was just too severe for me to bench the day afterwards. So I'm going to be transitioning that into a high bar day on the second training day of the week, and then a low bar day on the sixth training day of the week, which will give me the seventh day off to kind of let my elbows mend up. So, what you saw first was comp bench. I was doing sets of 8, and then I just filmed my dips, but I have other accessories detailed on the screen. Right now, I'm hitting this 2x8 at 170 keys. Uh, After this, I actually took a third set and I misgrooved the fifth rep. It was moving really easy, but I pitched forward and dumped the bar over my head, just about scalped myself, cracked the shit out of my skull. And so you see me doing these power shrugs. I was a little bit concussed. I realized I need to use the figure 8 straps for these because my weak ass hands were slipping with the regular straps. And so here I'm doing barbell rows. This is probably my favorite back accessory right now. I do them floating Bromley style to kind of get a full stretch instead of the reset on the floor. These high bar squats, I'm really taking it conservatively on the loading here. This is, uh, I mean, I was hitting sets of 8 with 365 and my last hypertrophy block, but um, because I tweaked my back doing high bar a few weeks ago, I'm just really easing into it and trying to smash the shit out of my quads. And I gotta say, it's working. I'm sore as fuck, even today as I'm sitting here. The week after this training occurred, a little bit late to the party with this one, but I'm gonna try and get in a rhythm to have these released the Monday following that training week. So yeah, I'm trying to stay really upright with these high bars. Squatting in the TYR L1s definitely assists with that. And I'm doing these dead hang pull ups while courteous gym goers are vacuuming and cleaning up in the background. Because I put the accessories on 3 times speed, it's easy to miss the pauses, but I really let my shoulders come all the way up to my ears and pause for a beat at the bottom of every pull up rep. So here's day 3. This is the Larson press. My elbows were feeling so beat up from the low bar that it really limited my loading. And I also sprained my wrist, so I was feeling that. And it just, I mean, my limiter was entirely my elbows feeling like someone had implanted razor blades in them. But I do like Larson press as a variation. In my transition week, I put in the cambered bar, but it aggravated a tweak in my shoulder. So I think that it's just a little too unstable. So I'm sticking with the straight bar. Um, Rocking the flannel, always a good choice to cut off flannel. And this is a little, I filmed a little more of my accessories here. I'm doing these push downs instead of dips, which are kind of my main tricep accessory and honestly my main bench accessory, just because my elbows are aggravated. And I gotta say, I got really sore from these push downs, so I'm gonna keep them in on the Larson press days and do dips on my other days. I'm using the Vulcan straps, which let you get uh, your arms farther behind your body and get a really nice contraction on the long head, and I get a full stretch coming back up. And then I do these overhead extensions as well, GVS style, um, letting it pull my shoulders back a little bit so the long head gets really stretched. And yeah, these are one of my favorite these are probably my favorite tricep isolation. I get a lot, and you can see me here kind of doing some cheat reps at the end. I do think that cheat reps are useful, employed to kind of get you past failure, right? And those aren't even cheat reps; those are partials. It's like a dog crap kind of partial, Dorian Yates partial. So this is staple for me. The cable lateral here, I'm doing them behind the back, but I also do them in front of the body, which I feel a little more in my rear delt. But those are so great. Um, Only lateral raise that I've ever done where I feel like I get a full stretch on the lateral delt. So I do those a lot. If I had access to one of those lateral raise machines that has like the pads where you put your biceps or the outsides of your arms, I would definitely be doing that because I do get a really good raw stimulus magnitude from those. You can kind of load them up, and if you're not stupid, it stays in your delts. So I get really sore from that, but that's not available to me at this gym, which is the best gym. So do some incline curls, and these clips are actually out of order. I never do the lengthen movement, the lengthen biased movement before I do the shorten biased movement. So this was actually my third bicep exercise of the day. Really my second because I did rope hammer curls for the brachialis. And I leaned the fuck back on those. There's a clip a little later on, which lets me get more of a stretch at the bottom because I find that if I stand straight up, I'm just not getting any. I'm not getting any tension at the bottom, so I kind of arch my back pretty crazy and just fix that position. Yeah, and I was doing some incline dumbbells here. Um, Shoulder issue is kind of making me hesitant to overhead press. I didn't film it, but what I've been doing is ending with two sets of strict behind the neck presses, full ROM, really conservative weight, high reps. And I gotta say, I feel like I'm getting something out of them hypertrophically too, because I get pretty sore from that. So this is my this is what I did before the incline curls. This easy bar is amazing. The grips are great. I do reverse curls with it, like in that sort of semi-pronated uh, angle. And so here I'm just doing easy bar with the arm blaster, a little quick flex. And I was leaning against the incline bench because it kind of gave me an angle where I was still getting tension at the bottom. It's almost like using a preacher bench. Um, so I like that, but I think from now on I'm just going to use the GHR as a preacher bench. That was a quick clip of me doing high pulls. I like to start deadlift days with high pulls because I want to get a yoked upper back, and also because I feel like it helps me get some pop in my hips with the hip extension, which makes me go into deadlifts feeling good. I don't know why I make this fucking frog face every time I deadlift, but this is a 3x8 with 396. 180 kilos. Yes, I literally am deadlifting the same working weight as my squat sets, but haven't been deadlifting consistently. And apparently, I'm a squat biased boy. But I'm looking forward to training deadlift this block, mostly so I can wear these dumbass tights with the holes in the knees, but also because I'd like to actually get a decent deadlift going. And I know I'm capable. I just need to kind of uh, translate the strength I already have in my back and my legs to the movement. So doing dumbbell rows on this day, easier on the elbows for me than the barbell rows. And I let it really pull my arm forward like this, and I get a nasty stretch all through like my upper and mid back. That's how I do hamstring curls. I like to lean forward. I get a better stretch at the top that way. And these are those dumbass, sort of limbo hammer curls I do with the Vulcan strap, which I bring into the gym and leave there. So I've done rope hammer curls facing away, and I just feel like I'm not really feeling it in the brachialis. So this was my paused bench for this day. Felt decent. I think this is 105 keys. I have it written down, obviously. I was doing sets of 6 and 7, I believe, keeping the RPE a little lower because I find that if I push up over RPE 8, my left shoulder gets crackly. So I think that's a more sustainable RPE cap. It's what I've been using for squat and deadlift, so I think I'll do it for bench from here on out and just be honest with myself about it. Doing these easy bar curls. Yeah, the GHR is, of course, a preacher bench, so I often steal that. That was my crossbody rear delt work, similar to the cable lateral. I get a full stretch if I bring it across instead of just kind of the shortened shit you get when you're doing rear delt flies. With dumbbells, those were dips. Get a full stretch into pause at the bottom. You can't really see it because, again, I put these accessories on 3 times speed. So this wouldn't be a 5 hour fucking video. And I think from here on out, I'm just going to not film all my accessories unless they're changing throughout the hypertrophy block, and kind of just voice over my main movements. But dumbbell bench here, incline again, getting a nice stretch at the bottom, baby weights, and I do enjoy these. I am also doing an incline push-up that I didn't film on another day. I actually start out all of my lower body days with calf and ab work. So these are just GHR sit-ups, right? I also like hanging leg raises. But I knock these out and it gives me some good ankle mobility going into squats, and it makes sure that my core is awake. So this is 4x6, low bar, really mid bar. I'm just trying to find the right spot where I don't kill my elbows. This feels good. I think I'm going to keep it like right on the rear delts instead of sort of the spine of the scapula a little farther back. I may be stronger that way, but it also destroys my shoulders and elbows. So this was a good 4x6 with 175 keys. That's 384. I'm very confident I'll be hitting a 4x6 with 396 on my next low bar sesh. Technique felt dialed in today, and again, I was keeping that like 7 to 8 RPE cap, which really seems like the sweet spot. All those sets felt good. I also do these stiff-legged deadlifts. You can't see it because it's sped up again, but I do really slow down the eccentric, and my hamstrings get sore as shit. This is my other accessory for squat days. It's a belt squat. And I really let my knees track forward. I'm putting those blocks on there because I'm a manlet, and it lets me get full range of motion, just ass to ankles. Not mad at the triceps looking jacked while I'm holding that. You got to pull the handles back to keep it from sort of re-racking the weight. Yeah, and these are power shrugs. I'm using the figure eights and much more effective. And I finish off with some seal rows. One goal of this off season is to just get a fucking yoked upper back. I think it's going to help my squat a lot and my bench a lot. I finished with these Kelso shrugs. It's a good way to end things.